All right, welcome everyone. Welcome back. I am Tomo. Welcome back to I Can't Shut Up. So I made a podcast. I'm sorry, I'm a bit out of it because it's so late and I haven't done this in a while. But welcome back, guys. We are back. Hopefully, we don't go away again. So I do want to apologize from last time. Um, I know it's been like a month, maybe more than a month, but I was sick for like 3 weeks, and then I was contemplating changing the name of the podcast, contemplated like doing a setup, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I will eventually do all that, and I should just do my podcast. I'm not gonna change the name. I'm just gonna work with it. I wanted something more, I don't know, something more simple, but I think like I can't shut up, so I'm in a podcast is as simple as it gets for me. So pretty basic. But anyways, so I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember anything that I talked previously, so if I repeat myself with some of the stuff, I do apologize for that. I hope you guys look forward to this videos or like this podcast videos. I am planning on doing like a reading session where I read you guys a book. So you guys don't have to, read it. Or maybe that motivates you to pick up a book. I think a lot of us should be reading. I think like reading helps you with your vocabulary. Like your vocabulary becomes bigger. Um, and we can all agree we like big vocabulary words, right? So that's something that I would like to do. So I can encourage you guys to read books. It doesn't have to be the same books or the same type of books that I like. Um, I I personally like reading a lot of like um adventure, fantasy, romantasy, and all that sort of thing. But I do end up reading other books at times, so hopefully by me doing those sessions, you guys will be more motivated on reading books. I also do this for like maybe you haven't heard of a movie or an anime and stuff, so just kind of a refresher for those people that are new or coming back and you forgot what was the point of my podcast. That's basically the point of it. I love anything that's storytelling, so I always want to like talk about that or encourage you guys to want to listen or read or watch. And I think it's a good mental stimulation for your brain. So yeah. Now, keep in mind I don't keep anything script, so this is very YOLO. Like this is like we'll see where it goes. Okay. So I will be talking like I don't know about today, but for those who are new, this is a podcast for storytelling on anything music, anime, video games, shows, movies, books, manga, um, and all that stuff like that. So today I will be talking about my future comic. Um, I know I haven't set out a webtoon comic or anything. Well, that's actually kind of a lie. I actually have a first episode of Realms Hell's Realm um by yours truly. That is I, me. You can look it up. It's really old. Um the first chapter, like I'm planning of removing it and replacing it a little bit. It's still going to stay about the same. It's just a little bit uh just slightly different. But I want to talk about I don't know if I should talk about Hell's Realm. I don't think I will, just because um, like I do wanna work on that and put it out hopefully this coming year. So I don't I don't want to, like, spoil you guys a lot on that. But I'm going to spoil some of, like, the original story, because Hell's Realm, it's a side story of my original one that so far the name is Syndicators, or like the Syndicators Mark, or Syndicator Mark. I don't know yet. I don't know. I don't know yet. That's a struggle I've been doing or having for a long time now. But I will be talking about my webtoon. Woo! My webtoon story comic idea that I've been working on for so many years and is still in development, but now it's coming more together. Um, so a lot of you guys have seen, if you guys watch my live streams, a lot of you guys have seen my OC characters, like Bloom, which is an elf, her knight, which I'm naming him Liam. He went through a lot of name change because none of them felt right. So I'm changing it to Liam. Dimian, um, Isha, Dakota, Lux, and Lex. Uh, uh, Logan. I don't know if I already mentioned him. Yuming. Uh, uh, I don't remember all my OC's names. Blossom. Uh, uh, I'm missing one Zodiac member. Fudge. But anyways, um, so I want to talk a little bit about the story of the Syndicators. Um, Basically, the story will start off with a princess. Um, I know, cliche, right? Whoa, so original. Uh, Her name is Bloom. Uh, she's from the Sunflower Kingdom family. Um, her father is the elf king of the Sunflower um village, clan, castle, family, well, whatever you want to call it. And in each faction, or in each, like, kingdom, there's like a symbol that represents each one. Um and through all these kingdoms, they have the sacred tree. And each sacred tree has an ability power, and they contain this, like, um stone, which is like a flower stone. And they all need to be kept within, like, the area that they are. Like, the tree basically has to stay put, and whatever it creates has to stay put there. So Bloom's castle, or Bloom's home, I guess the best way to put it. Her kingdom, her tree brings, like, healing abilities. Basically, the best way I can describe it is, if somebody's sick, or like poisoned, or just, like, ill, I guess. Um, Her family is known to be a family that could provide medicine, herbs, healing spells, healing potions, like, just treatment to recuperate whatever you are dealing with, or affected by. Um, and most of the people that live there are elves. um there's a few types of elves, like, there's different types of elf, but they all live within the Sunflower realm. And that's what their tree is about, like what that's the area or the purpose where you find all those abilities and herbs and flowers and plants and all that. So, the king um has two daughters, which is Bloom and Blossom. Blossom is the older sister. I think they're only apart by like 2 years, I believe. I might be wrong, but I believe it's like 2 years. Um, Blossom um would like to be queen. Um, and Bloom doesn't feel like she's um equipped, or like she's not the right person to play the role as a queen. And not only that, but she doesn't particularly want it. Like, she's not like, ew, gross, but she's like it's not something that she has thought that would fall into her hands. And Blossom usually, she's very sassy, very demanding. She gets sort of jealous of everything that Bloom has or acquires. The love that some people show towards her. She's very envious of her. Um, Especially since they're basically half sisters. The father, like the king, had a secret affair with man, I can't really say it because that's a huge spoiler. But he had a secret affair, and that's how they're half sisters. And I'm trying to think. Like, I haven't said anything that's too much of a spoiler. That is very like basically what I've been telling you guys so far is basically the start of it. The main premise that you will learn very quickly. It's really nothing crazy. Um there's a knight, Liam, he's human, and he's a very skilled fighter. Uh Her father appointed him to be his knight, and his family basically helped him rescue him from a very bad situation. So he feels like he owes them his life, specifically the princess. And he got adopted by a member of the um the like those people that like attend to the princess, kind of like a servant around there. um he's not just a servant, he's trained to also be a like assassin, I guess you could say. um he's just there pretending to sort of play the role of a servant. So he takes care of the princess and all that stuff. But whenever he is off duty, whenever they get a break from guarding the princess, they spend time together and stuff. And Liam, the knight, got adopted into Demian's, which is the assassin family. So they're basically brothers, not by blood. Um, that aside, Liam as a knight, he's a very quiet individual. He doesn't really like to speak up unless there's something to speak up for. His goal is just to serve to his princess, the king, and all of that. At a certain point, things take a turn that they leave the palace and they come across um fairies. Like, they come across the fairy village. um the fairies like to keep themselves very hidden, but due to certain um reasons they were able to bypass the invisible shield that hides their village, and they seek basically shelter because they're getting chased. And by they, I mean Bloom, Liam, the knight, and Demian, the like servant assassin. They flee the kingdom due to the kingdom got attacked, and like certain stuff happened that they ended up fleeing, and they end up going to. They happen to run by the fairy village, and they were able to bypass the shield um by reasons that I cannot share. And in there is the queen, or not queen, but like the mother of fairies. Um and there's like an oracle there, and um they kind of do like a deal sort of thing. Uh they seek shelter and help. Usually fairies are not very welcoming of strangers. They don't really bring humans in at all. It's not a thing that is allowed, but they kind of bend the rules in this situation. Um, eh, it's like they can like other living things can come in, but it is not a natural thing. Like they do allow certain individuals to walk in and stuff, but it's just not very common. Um, but that aside, they kind of do a trade, like a deal where like, okay, you guys can stay in here, but in return, you guys have to do something for us. And then they explain their situation, and the mother of fairies is like, well, how about this? I will give you, like, I will show you a way where how you can help your people, because they're being attacked by the Winteria people, which is just another kingdom. Is basically where all like the spider people are. They're like arachnid, something like that. Um, so the mother of fairies is like, you help us, and you will, like, I can guarantee you that by doing this, your people will be fine, and you'll be able to go back home. Um, and so they tell them, we need you to go and look, um, for a wizard, um, who has lived a very long life. He travels around looking for spells and stuff. He has the knowledge. He's a very like knowledgeable person. He has the knowledge to find the 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 syndicator guardian. In order to get the syndicator guardian, you need to have all the zodiac stones or signs, or I don't know what object I'm gonna like I don't know if it's gonna be a stone or an item. I still don't know, but all the syndicators members have something, and that something has the zodiac symbol. So um they're like, okay, do you have any leads? And they're like, all I can say is go to this little tavern. Maybe this tavern, because this tavern is kind of placed in the kind of like in the middle of like every kingdom possible. So they were told to just go there to investigate and seek answers. And they go there, and from there on they come across people on their way there. They end up picking up Dakota. She is the main character from Hell's Realms. Dakota is one of my favorite OCs. She is a half half devil and half beast, but a lot of people around confuse her as a tiefling. but she's like half devil, half beast. Um, her mother is Beast, and her father is Lucifer, king of hell. Um, and she's out in her own journey too, and they happen to come across and help each other, and then she tags along because um she needs the help of Bloom's kingdom, but she can't help her because her place is being basically attacked. So in order to help Dakota, Dakota needs to help them. So she tags along. They end up going to the tavern, and in the tavern we come across the bard. The bard is human. He runs the place, but he has workers that usually would take care of the place and stuff while he goes for a little small adventure once in a while. And so they ask a few questions. They stay there. The bard's name is Isha, and he is so flamboyant. Like he got the looks. Okay, he is gorgeous. And they ask questions about some wizard that has lived for a long time that usually journeys around the world, gathering spells and knowledge and all that stuff. And Isha mentioned something about whenever he saw him, he was going towards the beast village. Beast are basically, like, I guess the best way to put it, they're like cat people or dog people, anything that's like a carnivore beast dog type of thing. um so um so then they make their way over there. They they informed them to look for a granny. Um, the chief of the, well, they informed them to look for the chief. They don't specifically say a granny, but whenever they get there, there was like this attack going on. They helped, and then they were like, "Yeah, you guys are welcome in." And then they start a party. They throw a party, and then the chief of the like place is a granny, and then she tells a tale. Now that you know this, if you go and read the first episode of Hell's Realm on Webtoon, um, basically that's kind of where, um, like you'll see some of the continuing from where I just stopped with the story. You'll see a little bit of the continuing there, so I'm not going to spoil it, even though I'm gonna change up the webtoon comic. But they get there. The granny kind of tells a little legend about the old syndicator group, and um eventually she's like, I can't just give you this knowledge, just for free. I mean, like, I think, I'll help you. And she's usually like she's like, I don't really know, but I know how to find where he moved after he came and visit here. So they send them to go do a mission, and once they get to this destination, they will find out where he is being headed. I'm trying to be very like vague so you guys don't get like, oh, I know what's gonna happen. After that, they eventually go. They eventually. I'm skipping a bunch here, but they eventually get to the Winteria kingdom, where the spider people are, or arachnid people. This So their people are known to be very like backstabbing, so they're not very well trusted. The only thing that people will admit that they can trust is their amount of knowledge. They're known to be like necromancer, good with magic, um, uh, necromancer, and they have a famous like kind of like a library where there's like scribes, I guess, like where there's people that write things and recollect things. It's a known place, and their people are known to be very intelligent and smart, but also very dangerous. In fact, their people created a war a long time ago with the flyers, which are basically bird people. Um, they're basically extinct, and they they just did it just because they wanted to conquer another realm. So Winteria is the owner of two realms. They're nearby, so it their realm is just the biggest one. Um, and yeah, so they're known for that. So that's why they're not very well trusted. But they go there to seek for information and stuff, which they do have, sort of, if I remember correctly. Um, but anyways, that is basically like, I think that's like halfway of the story. I don't know. I don't have the script, but um that's basically all I would like to share from that. I hope like at least you guys find it kind of interesting. The point of the entire story is that Bloom is a self-conscious person who um who her father wants her to be the next queen, but the sister was jealous, and obviously she feels kind of like hurt about it. um and Bloom does not want to be queen because she doesn't feel she's capable, and because um she's very self-conscious. But through the journey, she realizes that she thinks that everyone's kind, or everyone should be kind to one another. And throughout that journey that she goes through, she has character growth where she learns that yes, it is okay to be kind. I think it's a good message to be kind, but sometimes being kind can be a little bit naive, and it doesn't make you a bad person whenever you have to use specific words or specific actions in order to um be strong, I guess. Or I don't know if strong is the right term in this situation, but sometimes you just gotta understand that based on your certain actions, it doesn't mean that you're a bad person. You can still be a good person and still take certain actions. um so she goes a little bit through that sort of thinking. And I feel like a lot of you guys will like certain characters, but be aware, don't get too attached to certain characters whenever I actually bring out this comic. Because some characters will die, okay? Some characters are gonna die. So just keep that in mind, and don't, and I don't know, like I feel like a lot of people expect certain characters to end up together and have a happily ever after. But one thing about me is that I'm not a big fan of happily ever afters. Ha ha ha. I like tragic, but I like romance. You mix that together and you get Roma tragic. I don't know. I kind of just made that up on the spot. I don't even think that's a thing, but I made it a thing now. So that's that's a little bit of the story of the Syndicators. Um, let's see. I did got all this story was inspired through like the years of like reading stories, watching anime, watching movies, and some of my dream stuff. Um, I think you guys will definitely be interested in reading it. I hope you guys like the characters, and I hope you guys hate some characters. Um, if you like every character, I feel like it could be biased, but I also would like to know whenever you guys hate a character, because I think that's good. Um, it's good to have characters that people don't like. Also feedback and stuff helps a lot. I don't know when I'll actually make the comic. I said I plan on bringing Hell's Realm first, since it's a shorter version of the comic. Um and then eventually hopefully I get to the original comic with the syndicators. Um that aside, I wanted to talk about the new movie of Lord of the Rings. Um, I went to watch it a day before release date, and I don't know what people thought of it. Like, I don't really look at reviews, okay? If I'm 100% honest, I don't go based on reviews. I feel like most. Now, I'm not dissing people who are all about reviews. I think it is a good way to, um, learn what people think. Excuse me. It is pretty late. At the time I'm recording this. I don't like looking at reviews. Only after I do is when I like to look at reviews. Um, that's the way I do it. The Lord of the Rings, the War of Ro bleh, Rohirrim Rohirrim. I don't remember. It's something like that. I loved it. I loved everything about it. There's certain things that I didn't. I think I'm gonna talk about it after the movie's been out for a while. But for now, I'm just gonna keep it very vague. I think the animation was fantastic. I can tell they used 3D, but it's one of those things where they use 3D to understand the movement better, but everything looks beautifully done in 2D. Um that aside, that movie, even though it's like animated, the camera, like the film, like I don't know how to explain it. The camera angles and the way is being filmed, it literally has the same vibe and concept as making a film like a live action film. Um and I don't see a lot of that. I'm not saying this is the only movie that they did this with, but it's very noticeable. If you're like a film person or a animator type of person, a storyboard person, you're gonna see how this movie had a good um film angle, film camera sequence, and I thought it was fucking incredible. I thought it was amazing. I was like, is this animation or is this like, am I in the anime world? Because the way the movement is so smooth, like moved, which I know that since it's basically 3D covered in 2D, I know you can set up basically a 3D world and just move the camera. Like, I know that's a thing, but that's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like it feels like the movement, the camera sequence, the angle, like it is very filmed like a actual live film movie and not your typical like let's make a animated or a 3D movie type of film, because usually when people make 3D films or 2D animation films, the concept, the traditional way of doing each scene is very animated, storyboard animated. And when you do live action films, you know that some movies have a sequence of scenes where they don't cut the camera angle and switch to the other one. So I thought that was very good. If you guys have not seen it, you guys should go check it out. It's really good. Not to brag, but I got the mug that they give you at the theater and the hammer where you put popcorn. But I didn't put popcorn in mine. I just want to like hang it on the wall. In fact, I'm probably either I don't want to draw it, but I might do it. I don't know. I want to buy a art print or buy the movie poster. Um, and put it on the wall next to like the hammer. Like I feel like that will be really dope and wicked. I have not watched the Wicked movie. I want to watch it, but I keep holding it off. But hopefully I can go watch it this weekend. Um, I heard it was really good. I'm a sucker for musicals. I live for them, so it's just part of me. It's second nature. If I could make a wish, I would wish that the only way you communicate with people is by singing. Like the one scene from the Miss Marvel movies. I know a lot of people are gonna say, "Ew, you watched that," or "Ew, gross, Miss Marvel," but it was actually a pretty good movie. Okay, it was actually a pretty decent movie. Okay, um, and in that movie, they had a scene where one of the Ms. Marvel characters um is like the princess of this place where they sing um for communication. I'm sorry if I'm making you guys yawn. I mean John John saying it. Um but but yeah. Let's see. What else can I share with the class? Um I have been watching Beastars third final season. I'm not a furry, but I'm all about the story, okay? I might not be like a furry, and I'm not gonna diss on the furries, like to each their own. It's not me who is, into the fandom, like you do you type of thing. But Beast Story is so good. I remember when it first came out with season one, I watched it and I was like, you know what? This is pretty good. And the best thing about Beastars is the opening songs. Like they're so fire. If you don't know what Beastars is, or even if you're not into Beastars or like into furry stuff, you should look up Beastars openings. Opening 1, opening 2, and opening 3. My favorite one is opening 2 because it has the cliche, like the main character runs, like oh, like something happens, they start running. But the song is so freaking good. The first song, fabulous. The third song, good. It's just good. Like it's just really good, and you guys should check it out. At least look up the trailers, okay? I'm going to put the links below so you could look at the songs because they're so good. They're so good, and you need to look at it. Um, Stars is actually really good. On the first season, it might be a little bit too weird if you're not into furries. If you're I'm not into furries, but I got through it and I regret nothing. I do think that on the first season, like it's not like ew gross, it's sexual or ew like this is gross because this happens. It's just a bit, how do I put it? It's okay. I don't have a problem with it. It's just more like you could have still like told this part of the story without me seeing what I saw. Like certain clips, like certain scenes, I was like, I could have not like I would have been okay with not seeing it, but knowing that this was happening. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So if you're a little bit disgusted or creeped out or weirded out by certain like sexual furry stuff, you might have a hard time sort of at the end of first season. Um, but it's nothing like, I don't think it's nothing crazy where you're like, ew, gross. I just think it's something like, okay, cool, I guess. I don't know, like gross or like I think it's no big deal. I think you could just get past it. The story's actually pretty good. Um, it's about like a wolf that has like he starts having feelings for like a rabbit, and there's like a lot of stuff involved. Like there's like the whole concept of issues with, oh, like um a carnivore and a evivore. I can't say those words. They're too complicated for my small little brain cell. But it's basically the whole concept of like, like animals who eat meat have a hard time um sometimes being friends or having like a relationship with animals who don't eat meat and stuff. So I think it's actually really cool because it comes down to the concept of like, people who are racist in real life and stuff like that. Um so I personally like the story a lot, even though at the beginning was a bit like too like, okay, like I get it. We cool. Um and I think it's a really good storytelling. Second season, is okay. Like it just becomes like a detective thing, and then third season, is still going, but third season is more detective stuff, but more cool because they were all in high school, and then some graduated. So now you get to see the characters a little bit more into society. So I think it's pretty great. I think you guys should definitely check out Beastars. If you can get past the like these are animals. um, but it's actually pretty good. Especially if you like detective stuff. Um, the story is great. I think it's great. Um, let's see. So now I only have like 50-ish minutes, so let's see if I can get this out of the way. Recently, I think like a month ago, I finished two books. I was reading the book called Hunting Adeline. I don't know by who. Let me check out. Hunting by Carton Hun. Who wrote it? Who is it? Who is it? What the fudge? It doesn't. Who wrote it? It doesn't want to tell me. Oh, okay, okay. Hunting Adeline by Car Carton, and it says HD, like a H dot D. I don't know, but anyways, Hunting Adeline. I don't know how many of you guys like to read, but since we're kind of in the topic of like, oh, this is too graphic, like too sexual for me, for my beautiful eyes or ears. Um, Hunting Adeline, honestly, I thought it was a fascinating book. I literally could not put it down. I wanted to keep reading it and reading it and reading it. And I even went, like, once I finished the first book, I went to the second book, and I was like, holy guacamole. Hunting Adeline is basically a book about a a, a dude who is very attractive, and a woman who I guess is very attractive and is a author, and um the attractive man becomes a weirdo by becoming a stalker. So he becomes her stalker. And there's a lot of manipulation in this story. I don't recommend this book for younger girls. This is a bad example of what you would consider romance or anything like that. Um, in fact, I don't think people or young ladies should go about reading this book and being like, oh my gosh, this is so romantic. He's stalking me. Oh my goodness. No, this is a good book. So you could read it and be like, I I gotta not be dumb like this girl here, or more like woman. Okay, so this is a good example of what you should not do when there's a weirdo stalking you and manipulating you. Okay, and in this book, uh, t- there's so much I want to say about this book. Um, you so uh, he's basically a stalker, and she ends up falling in love with him. But the thing about the book is that he's actually not a bad guy. He's a good guy. But the way he went about, like, chasing her, I was a no for me. I was like, you know, like, I don't think he needed to, like, I don't think, like, why is he a star? Like, why? But overall, it was a very entertaining story. I don't think there's anything great about, like, I don't think he's like, oh my god, this is beautiful. This is the most. No, I think it's a great book, but definitely, I hope younger girls, don't read this and, mm, like, make it into a kink what they want a stalker to, like, fall in love with. Um, the second book of Hunting Adeline is a bit like, whoa, like, whoa, too much. I don't recommend the second book if you're a bit too sensitive with RAP, and you can finish the rest. Um, but it's like a good knowledge to have at the same time. I will always say that even if it's not a nice thing to look, watch, or read, I think it's a very good thing to obtain that knowledge. Not for you to be like, oh yeah, like this is what it like. No, like just so you could be aware that things like this could happen in your life, and these are great examples of what you should not like, what you should be scared of, what you like, all this sort of things that could happen. And I will say that as me recommending a book or a movie or a story or anything like that. Now, this is just my opinion. You're welcome to disagree because in the end, we all are bound to have our own opinions. But that is how I view it. I rather obtain the knowledge than to have no knowledge of it because I don't like the feeling, or I don't like the sound, or I don't like the looks of it. Um but that's just my opinion. I think it's a good book. Um would I recommend it to everyone? No. No, I would just recommend the first book, especially to the girls that like Twilight. And not just for girls, like for anyone, boys too. But I feel like I could understand why girls would want. I understand my people. um, but yes, I recommend this book if you like Twilight. I mean, if you like Twilight and you specifically are Team Edward, which I'm one of them. So if you're Team Edward, yes, read this book. It's basically the same thing, just more adult like instead of stupid teenagers. No offense to any teenagers reading or I guess listening to me talk about shenanigans. Um yeah, I'm gonna shut up now before I, you know, make it worse. Anyways, I'm gonna follow that up by saying teenagers, you guys should like this video. Share with your friends if you find it interesting and you think they're going to find it interesting and not get offended by me saying, you know, such teenagers and blah 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 blah. Uh leave a comment, give me your thoughts of what you think of my webtoon story and any other book or movie that was talked about here. I will be putting the next podcast. I'm trying to post them every Monday, so expect podcasts on Mondays. If not, then I don't know. If not, then I don't know. Like thank you guys for watching and hope to see you guys next time. I'm so excited to talk more about other stuff and shenanigans. Watch Lord of the Rings. Go buy your tickets. This is not sponsored by AMC Theaters, but I will support them and say go watch it on theaters. Now. Go, go, go. Thank you guys for watching and bye bye.